Hi everyone, Annette here from Ask Me Decor. Welcome back, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. So today's video is all about getting ready for spring. I have a great idea and a couple things that we need to talk about. In the video, I'm actually going to make a spring wreath. I'm going to talk you through the process. I'm going to show you everything I'm going to use to make it, and then the big surprise is coming up, and I will tell you about that in a second. But first I want to talk a little bit about the channel. What happened over Christmas was I got monetized. That's great news for me, but what does that mean for you? There are certain perks that you are eligible for now because I am in the YouTube partnership. There are 3 levels of membership. So you can actually become a member of my channel. And for those of you who don't know, ASK is my initials. And that's how I came up with the name for the channel, Ask Me Decor. So for the membership levels, I wanted to use those same initials, ASK. So let's go through them. These levels are very easy to remember. They're easy to click onto on your screen. If you click on my channel, you will see an option to click membership, and that's how you're gonna join. So let's go through the membership levels. The first one, A, is an associate. So if you become an associate, you get priority reply to comments. The second level is the letter S, or Sentry. If you become a Sentry, you get early access to new videos, you get membership shout outs, you get photos and status updates, and you get exclusive members only videos. So being a Sentry might be a really cool idea. But the most exciting level is K, Keepers. So when you become a Keeper, you will be able to send me a picture of your room, your hallway, your bathroom, whatever, one wall, a cupboard. Send me a picture and I will give you some advice on what I would do there. What would I put there? What color would I use? What kind of pillows would I use? You can get all that advice directly from me if you become a Keeper. Now, that's a pretty cool level, and I can't wait. I hope I get some Keepers soon, because I can't wait to see your rooms and your spaces and kind of help you get some ideas. I've been doing that for friends forever, and I can't wait to do it for you. All right, now that we talked about the membership program and how you can become an associate, a Sentry, or a Keeper, we need to move on in the video. And this is the most exciting news I have for everybody. This is my 100th video. Yes! In honor of my 100th video, I decided that I needed to give something away. One lucky viewer is going to get a wreath I'm going to make. This is going to have a spring theme, and I have all of the items laid out here that I'm going to go with. But let me give you a little bit of history on wreath making for me. I have been making wreaths for people for a long time. I actually used to make them and sell them. My biggest seller of all time was one that I used to make out of corn husks. But I haven't done it in a while, and I thought this is the perfect way for me to thank all my viewers, all my subscribers, and celebrate the fact that I am on my 100th video. Without further delay, let's get started. Let's get this ready for one of you to hang on your door for spring. So come on everybody, guess where we're going? We need to make a little stop at Michael's to get all the supplies that we need to make the wreath. Now, I know there's still snow on the ground where I live, but inside Michael's, it's definitely spring. It's almost hard to focus on one item or one wreath. There's so much color, so much spring. You have to really focus on what you want and how much you need to make a wreath. That's the part where I excel. I know exactly how many sprigs and stems and colors I want for this wreath. Here's how I do it. You might have heard the saying, when you're filling pots for outside, that you use a thriller, a filler, and a spiller. So I kind of use the same concept to pick out what I'm going to use for my wreath. The thriller is going to be one item that you're going to put on the wreath that kind of creates your theme. The filler is going to be what you want to use as flowers. Maybe 2 or 3 stems is going to be enough. And then the spillers, that's going to be your bow. That's going to be anything that kind of branches out from your main body of your wreath. You'll see this in a minute when we put the wreath together. Back from Michael's, and now I've got all my tools ready to use on the wreath. I do have a really big, very old glue gun, but it still works and serves the purpose. Next, I spread out all the things I picked out at Michael's that I'm going to possibly use on this wreath. You can see the color scheme here. I wanted it to be a very, very soft, pale pink. That way, I'm hoping that it will match everyone's decor out there and that all of you are going to want to leave me a comment so that you can possibly win this wreath. How did I know where to start with the color scheme? It was this bunny. He was perfect. His body looked like it was made out of petals, and he was the inspiration for the whole wreath. Now here we go. First thing is we've got to cut the price tag off of everything. So we'll start with this wreath, and I want to explain to you what I'm going to do with this. I have this little bunny, and he is going to go kind of right in the middle here, and then there are going to be some florals coming this way and some florals coming up this way. So it's kind of going to have an L shape and a large bow that'll probably be kind of right here or maybe underneath him. We'll see how that looks when we get that far. I have these really great floral picks. I picked these up years ago. I have a big bag of them, and they're really great for attaching things to a wreath. So our little bunny is made out of styrofoam, so it was very easy to poke the picks into the bottom of the bunny. Just stick them right in there, and then those picks have wire attached to them, and that wire is going to make it very easy to attach the bunny to the wreath. I just wrap them around some of that grapevine and twist it very tight, and your bunny is going to stay put. Okay, so he is our thriller. Next, we're going to use our fillers, and that is going to be some of this greenery, which is going to create that L shape that I was talking about on the wreath. One bunch of leaves is going to go up straight vertically, and the other bunch of leaves is going to be horizontal. And that's going to create that L shape and create a nice little interest point for this wreath. First, I wired my bunch of greenery onto the wreath, and then I did give it a little dab of glue just to make sure it stays put where I want it. Next up are these adorable little carrots. They have the same petal effect as the body of the bunny. They were on a really nice wire stem, so I was able to bend that wire and put it through the grapevine wreath and then bend it up on the back side, and that kept them very secure. I didn't even need to put any glue on them. So everything on the wreath so far is our thriller. Now we're going to work on our filler. This is going to be the ranunculus flowers and buds that I bought, some of this great looking pink eucalyptus, and a few of the leaves from the ranunculus stems. Now it's time for the spiller part of our wreath, and that's going to be these branches of pussy willow. I'm going to put them in the wreath so that they're kind of poking out of the arrangement as if they're spilling out of a pot. I did put a little dab of hot glue on the end of each one of these pussy willow stems so that it stays put where I want it. Stepping back from the arrangement, I could tell that I needed a few more leaves from the ranunculus stems to fill it in and complete the look. And the last part of the spiller portion of our arrangement is a bow. That's going to get placed on the bottom of the wreath below the bunny. I'm going to use a method where you make a loop and twist it. This is going to keep the shiny side of the ribbon on the outside of every loop. Your bow will look more consistent, and then it'll be easy to tie it with some wire. I made 5 loops on the bow, and each loop got consecutively smaller as we got towards the center of the bow. I hold it up to the wreath to make sure it looks right, and now it's time to take a little piece of floral wire, twist that around your loops, and you're ready to attach that to the wreath. It's easy to attach it to the wreath with that wire. You just poke it through the grapevine and twist it as tight as you can. Once I cut the tails off of the wreath, I am going to do one of my signature moves on this wreath. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I like to. I am going to glue some of that ribbon all around the back of that wreath. That way, when you hang it on your door, it is not going to scratch your paint. Believe me, I've learned this the hard way. I can't tell you how many times I've touched up the paint on my doors because I had a wreath hanging on there that scratched it. And here it is, the wreath that I am going to give away to one lucky viewer to celebrate my 100th video on YouTube. Okay, so if you're excited to win this wreath, you need to comment on the video. I will take all those names, pick one, I'll get your mailing information, and I am going to send it to you. And that is how I am celebrating my 100th video, by giving you this beautiful spring wreath. Now, if you need more information about the membership program, all of that information will be down below in the description box. So I hope you join me in the next video. Until then, happy spring.